This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Jose Benavidez Sr. over Zoom. Jose, it's good to speak to you. Good to see you. It's been a while. How has life been treating you?
Everything's going well, man. We just came from Mexico City. We had Julio Porras fighting in Mexico City. Super excited. He stopped the guy in the second round with the body shot. So I couldn't be more happier. We're back training here. We leave to Texas on Tuesday. We have a press conference for Diego Pacheco. He's going to be fighting on the undercard. He's a co-main event for Bang Bam in Texas. He's going to be facing Trevor McCumby. But this next Saturday, we have a big fight also on the undercard of Caleb Plant and Charlo. We have Daniel Blanca, so pretty busy schedule.
It seems to be non-stop for you, Jose. And as you mentioned, Diego Pacheco there, a good starting point for us. Trevor McCumby certainly gained a few fans from his performance against Caleb Plant. Talk to me about this fight, what you're hoping Diego shows, how he comes through the test of Trevor McCumby.
Yeah, we see what Caleb Plant did with Trevor McCumby. I thought he was having problems at the beginning, but then he did really good and was able to stop Trevor McCumby. I believe that we have to do even better. We have to look spectacular in order to get those big fights with Diego Pacheco, and get to the big names. So he can't just win a fight. He has to look spectacular.
That leads nicely into my next question. Is that something you guys discuss and is something you want to see from Diego? You want to see better than what Caleb Plant produced?
Of course, we have to look impressive. That's the word, impressive, in order to be up there with the big guys, in order to fight Caleb Plant, Mbilli, and all those guys are Munguia, Berlanga, and all that. So I think we have to look at spectacular.
Obviously, the Christian Mbilli fight was one which had previously been ordered, and as a team, you pulled out and pursued the Trevor McCumby fight. Can you, from your position, just tell me why you felt like that was maybe the correct move, and when you think we can see the Christian Mbilli fight?
Just to make it clear, we did not pull out. We wanted that fight. I don't know what happened with Matchroom. We signed a paper. We signed everything to make it happen. Uh, the thing is with me, the promoters are the ones that make those fights. We really wanted the fight. We wanted the fight before when we fought this other Steven Nelson. We thought we were going to fight in Billy, and we were super sure that we were going to fight in Billy for the interim. Who doesn't want to fight for the interim WBC world title? So we did not pull out. We wanted that fight. Don't know what happened, and hopefully we could get it next after we fight Trevor McCumby.
So on that note, then it seems to be that it's quite a little frustrating situation you all found yourselves in.
No, no, we're not frustrated. We're here to prove ourselves and keep working. As long as we have a fight, it's not frustrating. But we would love to fight for the interim WC against Mbilli. But it's not frustrating. Like I said, things happen for a reason. They know why they did that. So we're just gonna continue keep proving ourselves, and the time will be right. But we want those fights.
With, say, Christian Bale, then, if you were to cross paths with him in the near future, how does Diego approach a fight with somebody who many see as somewhat a little avoided, if you will?
Who's avoided, Diego or Mbilli?
And Bealey, a few people feel like that maybe he's avoided. So if
I don't think he's avoided. Not at all. I don't think he's avoided. I think he's a great fighter, good fighter, but I don't think that he has proven that he's a monster. He's an animal in that division. I think he's just a good fighter. He has a lot to prove, but I don't think that at this point, I don't know where you heard that people are avoiding him. I don't think nobody's avoiding him. We've been trying to get that fight for two fights already. Like I said, his promoters and our promoters are not, coming to a conclusion, to agree, so that's the problem right there. But I don't think he's avoided.
how would you like to personally then, Jose, how would you like to see Diego's, say, the next year of his career be mapped out?
Well, like I said, the most important thing is we want to fight in Billy. Hopefully, we could get that fight with Billy on the next fight. Then we could fight Munguia. That would be a great fight, and then we can fight Berlanga. That would be a perfect year for Diego Pacheco to fight those three guys, and that's what's in our mind, and that's what we want.
Mentioning Jaime Munguia, obviously he ran his rematch back with Bruno Cereis recently, and he was victorious. And we saw a bit more of a maybe a controlled performance, not as aggressive as what we've been used to seeing. What did you make of maybe the adjustments we saw from his time working with Eddie Reynoso?
Yeah, I think that that they're doing a good thing working with Reynoso, but I think that in my mind he was fighting a little scared. His hands were way up, and he was just trying to adjust. I think he did enough to win the fight, but I don't think he looked impressive. I think he was a little bit gun shy, and he was very cautious, and I don't think he was himself that night.
Do you feel like then, especially when you see that, not just with like a Jaime Munguia, but with any fighter, when that they show that maybe level of caution, as you mentioned, it can become kind of a common theme for the next chapter in their career. So for Jaime Munguia moving forward, he will show that level of caution in whoever he faces next.
Well, I think that they're trying to make him fight at the same as Canelo Alvarez. There will not be another Canelo Alvarez. There's only one Canelo Alvarez. I think Munguia already has his style. He just has to be a little bit more careful and not take his style away because they're trying to turn him in something that he's not, and that's what we saw in his last fight. They want to put him up like Canelo, come in there and throw the big shots, but that's not Munguia. So. I think little by little they're going to find out that, and I think he just got to be careful, move his head a little bit, bring his hands up, and but make him fight the ways that he's been fighting. Uh, and I think that that could be successful. But they're trying to change him. They're trying to make a replica of Canelo Alvarez.
Jose, with regards to your son David, it's been, I imagine, from outside looking, in, maybe a bit of a frustrating couple of years. You've wanted the big fights at 168, couldn't get that Canelo fight, moved up to 175. You wanted Bivol, you wanted Beterbiev, and now obviously Bivol's vacated that WBC title. How would you summarize the last couple of years of David's career? Because he's had a fantastic resume, still fought the best of what was possible, but you've still wanted those kind of career-defining fights, if you will.
Yeah, no, the plan is to, he's the world champion at 175 now for the WBC. So we are here to give everybody opportunities, people that deserve and worked so hard to get to where they're at. So we want to reward them, with an opportunity to fight for a world title. We're not here to pick anybody. We never pick nobody. So we're here to give the fighters what they deserve and the opportunity to fight for a world title. In our mind, it's hopefully we can fight Callum Smith, Anthony Yard, and then we can fight Zurdo Ramirez. Those are the fights that we're looking at because I don't see that Beterbiev wants to fight or Bivol wants to fight David Benavidez. But those will be the fights that we really want. Bivol and Beterbiev. Those are the fights that are very dangerous and very compatible and hard, to be honest, and those are the fights that the people want to see. But if they don't want to fight David, there's nothing we can do about it.
What can you tell me about a Callum Smith fight? Because Eddie Hearn's been vocal with the media saying that there have been talks with PBC side. So is that for you a front runner for what could be next up for David?
Like I said, we're down. We're ready to give. He should fight David Benavidez. He won a small title. I think it was a WBC interim or something like that. So I don't remember what he won, but he won something. So he deserves an opportunity. We're here to give him that opportunity to fight for a world title, and that's what he wants. So I don't know why he can take that fight, you know. But like I said, if Bivol-Beterbiev doesn't want to fight David Benavidez, we would love to fight um, uh, 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 Callum Smith. Also, that's another fight that hopefully it could be made with the fighter that Canelo fought. Maybe I think pretty sure that David can stop him and look impressive. So that would be another fight that would be interested in fighting. What's his name? I forgot his name. The
William
guy that
Scull.
Canelo just fought. William Scull. That would be another great fight for us. There. Hopefully, we could do a catchway or do something. But that would be a fantasy fight. That we could probably make. And show the people that David's in another level.
Do you think that's one way then? Again, like I know you guys have been wanting that Canelo for fight for a while. You can somewhat trap Canelo into kind of taking it because if you continue to fight his past opponents but can deliver a better performance and a better job, it somewhat makes it look inevitable that Canelo has to fight you.
Well, I don't think it could be worse of what Canelo did, So we're down for the challenge, We'll fucking hit that body, cut the distance, and cut the ankles too, and cut the ring off. I think that would be a great challenge for us to show the people where David's at.
What did you make then of Canelo's fight with William Scull?
It was terrible. The biggest fight, and they got paid so much, and one of the pay-per-view attractions that these guys took for number one, placed first number one for not throwing punches. So I think it was a bad fight, and Canelo does not have the legs no more, and I don't think now he's complaining that he doesn't like to fight those kind of fighters, but he's the one that chose them. So there's just so many excuses. He couldn't do it. He couldn't catch him. I believe that Canelo had a great career, and Canelo did really good in boxing. He made a lot of money, but I think that the body's not responding the same anymore.
Do you think that performance as well then has maybe I don't know what your opinion might have been beforehand, but certainly maybe lent you towards favouring Terence Crawford in their fight because of stylistically he could have taken confidence from how William Skull boxed?
I think it's just going to be the same thing. We saw the fight with Charlo, same thing. We saw Skull, same thing. I think we're going to see the same thing with Terence Crawford. Crawford's a little guy. He's not going to stay in there and entertain the people. He don't care about what the people say. I think he's just going to try to win, try to run, 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 and try to box Canelo. Canelo's not going to be able to catch him, and we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see the same fight that we saw with Charlo, the same fight that we saw with Skull. We're going to see the same with Terence Crawford.
What does it take, in your opinion, Jose, to try and make this fight between Canelo and your son? Because there's no denying it's certainly one of, if not the biggest, arguably fight that could be made in the sport.
Yeah, it can be made. The only thing that's in the way is that Canelo's asking to $200 million. That's the only thing. So I don't know who's gonna pay him $200 million. But that's what it is. He wants $200 million to fight David, and that fight would happen. But it's just too much ridiculous money, for him to do that. That's the only way that he can say no to David, and he knows that nobody's gonna pay that. So that's why he's asking for so much money.
If so, that money was ever to be able to be offered, do you believe Canelo would go through with the fight?
I don't think so. He'll come up with another excuse. I don't think that will be it. But maybe that would kind of convince him a little bit. He will have double thoughts about it, and maybe that could be it. If somebody can pay the $200 million, that's a big chance, and to let go, that finally he would just cash out and retire.
Just in terms of like kind of where next in term for your son for David, then what in terms of a date are you guys hopeful for?
Any days. Like I said, we're here to prove ourselves, and David's only 28 years old, and we're just here. We're here to give you guys the great fights, the good fights, and exciting fights, and we just want to make people happy. We want to make history one day, and that's all we care about, making history.
It was interesting earlier on you mentioned a potential fight with Zurdo Ramirez as well. Obviously, Zurdo up at cruiserweight now. How far off do you feel your son would be from that move?
We're ready. We're ready. Like I said, we can fight him next fight, but the only thing that it would not look good because we got to defend our title. But if we would have gotten the title, we were talking to Golden Boy and his managers, and the fight was already cooking. They're happy, we're happy, and that was an easy fight to make. But since Benavidez gave his belt away, I don't think that now we got to defend that title at least one or twice.
Do you think, or do you have any confidence as a team that the winner of their trilogy might then face your son, the winner of a better Bivol trilogy that is, might then be open to facing your son?
Well, that would be fair, if we can fight the trilogy, the winner of the trilogy, we can wait, not a problem. Uh, but I heard that they're not fighting right now. I think Bivol is trying to put another fight in between, so we don't know what's happening with that. Before they said that they don't want to fight David because they already have a rematch clause, but now I'm hearing that they're fighting a fight in between, so I don't understand what they're trying to do.
With the theme then of also of Callum Smith, what did you make of his performance against Joshua Buatsi, and what would the fans be in store for with the fight with
I
your
was there. I was there. I think he looked good. I was there. I saw that fight. I think he looked good. I think the other guy was supposed to win, and Callum Smith won, and he's ready. He's ready. He's an ex-world champion, and he's ready to give it another shot. So Like I said, I'm not the happiest guy to fight. I think he's old. I think he's done. But at the end of the day, we cannot underestimate it. He won, and he deserved the right to have an opportunity to fight for a world title. So as long as they deserve and they're ready to go, I think that we're gonna have to fight anybody.
Just a couple of fights I want to get your thoughts on before we wrap this up, Jose. Obviously, we saw the Manny Pacquiao Mario Barrios fight announced earlier. What are your thoughts on Manny's return 4 years on from his last professional outing?
I think everybody's excited to see Manny Pacquiao come back and fight. He's an exciting fighter, a very charismatic fighter, and friendly fighter. So I think it's a great entertainment, and we're looking forward to see Manny Pacquiao look against how he looks against Mario Barrios. I think it's a good fight. I hope he still has the speed, the power. I've been watching him train, and he looks good. He looks refreshed. So I hope that they could give us a good fight.
And then final one over in the UK for the undisputed heavyweight crown. Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois have their rematch on the horizon. Just get your take on that as well, please, Jose.
That's another great fight. A fight that we're all excited about it, and we can't wait. So, I mean, it's a good thing for boxing.
Who do you favour? Do you favour Usyk or do you favour Dubois?
You know what? Usyk is one of my favorite fighters. I'm gonna have to go with Usyk, but anything can happen. He's been proving us that anywhere he goes, cruiserweight, heavyweight, he's still got the moves and he has the heart, and he's been looking really good.
Jose, I appreciate your time as always. I look forward to an announcement soon for your son. Good luck with Diego for the rest of camp. Good luck on Saturday, and thanks for speaking to me on Boxing News.
Thank you. Have a good day.